take a look behind me, you see right here, there is a bracket behind me. Now, today we are going to be doing a pound for pound tournament with the UFC's official pound for pound rankings, 16 slots. So we added one extra person to round it out. But just like March Madness, NBA playoffs, actually, matter of fact, any playoffs of any sport, we are going to be doing a tournament style to decide who is the best pound for pound fighter in the UFC. So stick around to hear my thoughts. I'm Wyatt, and this is Fight Society. All right, guys, so I have the pound for pound rankings right here. And before we get into the video, please make sure to click that like button, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. It really helps me out a lot. We're going to take a look at the UFC pound for pound rankings right here. We have Islam Makhachev at 1, Alex Pereira at 2, just moved up this past week. John Jones 3, Leon Edwards 4, Ilia Topuria 5, Sean O'Malley 6, Volkanovski is number 7, Max Holloway is 8, DDP 9, Pantoja 10, Tom Aspinall 11, Izzy 12, Oliveira 13, Sean Strickland 14, and Aljamain Sterling at 15. Now, we do need an even number to fill out the bracket. So what I did was I added Merab Dvalishvili as our 16 seed. So just like the NCAA tournament, March Madness, whatever, highest seed goes against the lowest seed. So we are going to start off with our first round matchups. First round, you have number 1 ranked Islam Makhachev up there in the corner, and he is going to be fighting our fill-in, our number 16, Merab Dvalishvili. And then number 2 ranked in the pound for pound rankings is Alex Pereira. He's going to be going up against 15 seed Aljamain Sterling. From there, we have the number 3 pound for pound fighter in the world, John Jones, and he will be going up against number 14, Sean Strickland. From there, we have the number 4 pound for pound fighter, Leon Edwards, is going to be going up against number 13, Charles Oliveira. Then we have our number 5 ranked fighter, Ilia Topuria. He's going to be going up against Israel Adesanya, who is ranked 12th. Then from there, we have Sean O'Malley in the 6th seed. He's going to fight the 11 seed. That's Tom Aspinall. And then from there, we have the number 7 seed. That is Alex Volkanovski. He will be going up against Alexandre Pantoja. And then moving down from there, we have number 9 ranked DDP will be going up against number 10 ranked Max Holloway. Okay. So now let's get into these first round matchups. First off, we have Islam Makhachev and Merab Dvalishvili. Islam's bigger by 2 weight classes, much better striker, similar level grappling, definitely doesn't have Merab's cardio, but I think that if they were to fight, Islam finishes Merab fairly early, hits a lot harder, a lot better striking, a lot better finishing potential, amongst other things, and that's before you even talk about the size advantage. So I have winning that first round matchup is Islam Makhachev. We move down to the next matchup. Who will fight is the winner of this fight will fight Islam Makhachev. That is Max Holloway and Dricus du Plessis. Now, skill-wise, check all the boxes in Max's favor. Cardio, striking like the boxing, speed, wrestling, defensive grappling, defensive striking, but size does play a huge factor. Max's shots are not going to do much on DDP. Max will not be able to defend the takedown against somebody of that size. That's why, unfortunately, I have Dricus du Plessis defeating Max Holloway in the first round of our pound for pound tournament. We move on from there to the number 2 seed, Alex Pereira against Aljamain Sterling. This is a 45er and the hardest hitting 205er we've probably ever seen. I'm not going to give you guys a hot take on this one. Alex Pereira KOs Aljo easy. Down from there, the winner of this fight will fight Alex Pereira. That is Alexander Volkanovski and Alexandre Pantoja. Now, 2 very skilled athletes, but Volk is much bigger, 2 weight classes heavier, more skilled in my opinion, better striker, better wrestler. I'd say the only place that Pantoja is actually better is jiu-jitsu, but Volk's game doesn't really revolve on that. So size, speed, power, striking, wrestling, all of that goes to Volk. Volk wins. Volk versus Alex Pereira in the second round. Moving down from there, we have Sean O'Malley and Tom Aspinall. Now, Tom Aspinall moves quick. He's also a heavyweight. He quite literally fights almost twice of Sean O'Malley's weight. The only thing Sean O'Malley could do is hope to not get brutally KO'd or taken down and subbed immediately. Aspinall beats Sean O'Malley. Easy peasy. We move on from there to John Jones versus Sean Strickland. Now, not only do I think John Jones is more talented all around than Sean Strickland, he's more aggressive than Sean Strickland, and he's also 60-ish pounds heavier. John Jones takes Sean down, subs him fast. John Jones moves on to the second round. We move on to the bottom left quarter of our bracket, and that is Israel Adesanya and Ilia Topuria. Now, Ilia Topuria is like 5'7", Izzy's like 6'2". Huge height advantage for Izzy, reach advantage. I don't think that Ilia's grappling is strong enough to muscle around a guy that fights 40 pounds heavier than him. Probably 35 to 40 pounds heavier on fight night as well. I think Izzy wins fairly easily if he was to ever fight Ilia Topuria. Moving on from there, the most intriguing first round matchup, in my opinion, because they're only one weight class apart, which all the other ones are vast differences. You got a lightweight and a bantamweight, 205er and a 35er, 45er, a heavyweight and a 35er, stuff like that. But this, you have a very intriguing matchup of Oliveira and Leon Edwards. Oliveira, always on the front foot, always attacking, great jiu-jitsu, knockout power, pretty good wrestling, slick striking, knees and elbows in the clinch are nasty. But with that said, I think Leon is too clean of a fighter. I think Leon would survive an early onslaught of pressure from Charles Oliveira and then go on and win a very easy decision or like a Charles got gassed out TKO. I take Leon Edwards beating Charles Oliveira. Now we have our second round. Moving back up to Islam Makhachev versus DDP, our top left corner. Islam is better than DDP quite literally everywhere. I think the size difference would play a huge factor. DDP is 6'1", weighs in at 85, probably is 205 on fight night, 210 on fight night. Islam, 5'10", weighs in at 55, is probably 175 on fight night. I'm going to say and that's why we have weight classes, guys. DDP, nowhere near as good skill-wise, skill for skill, as Islam Makhachev, but he still beats him. This is why we have weight classes. Now, moving down, Israel Adesanya and Leon Edwards to make it into the semifinals against DDP. Both very clean fighters. Leon's not a huge welterweight. Izzy's very tall and rangy. He's not the heaviest middleweight, but he's very tall and rangy. He's fought people like Pereira, Jan Blachowicz. He has experience against way bigger guys. Israel Adesanya beats Leon Edwards. So then we have DDP and Izzy, funny enough, our UFC 305 main event in the semifinals. And then moving over to the other side of the bracket, we have Alexander Volkanovski and Alex Pereira. Fairly obvious, a 60-pound weight difference on fight night or on weigh-ins. There's a 60-pound difference. Volk's chin has been cracked twice now in his last two fights. Alex Pereira's a demon. Shama KOs Volk easy peasy. Has to throw a hook like at his hip, but KOs Volk very easy. And then we move on to a very, very intriguing matchup. If you look right over there, John Jones and Tom Aspinall, the fight that the people have been calling for. Actually, at this point, I'd rather see Jones and Pereira because that's the biggest fight the UFC can do. But with that said, Aspinall, young, fast, natural heavyweight. The Jones simps are going to be pissed, but Tom Aspinall beats John Jones. That's how I feel. Now we have our semifinals is DDP and Izzy, and then Tom Aspinall, Alex Pereira. Now, I have not actually made an official prediction for 305 yet. I'm still on the fence as to who's going to win between Izzy and DDP. It does depend on what version of Izzy shows up, because if it's the Izzy that fought Paulo Costa, I think he cooks DDP. But if it's the Izzy that fought Sean Strickland, I think Izzy gets finished very early. With that said, for the sake of this video, I'm going to choose DDP. I think he's on a roll. I think he is much hungrier than Israel Adesanya. I think Adesanya is looking to get a couple legacy fights before calling it a career. I take DDP over Israel Adesanya. My pick might change before UFC 305, but for this video right now, how I'm feeling, DDP beats Izzy. And then between Alex Pereira and Tom Aspinall, I actually think that Alex Pereira would have a better shot at beating John Jones than Tom Aspinall. So I personally think that if Pereira and Aspinall were to fight, Aspinall shoots a double leg, kind of like how he did Volkov. He just takes him down and subs him fast. But it depends. But I'm going to pick Tom Aspinall over Alex Pereira. I think he probably runs through him. You never know with Pereira's power. But at the end of the day, I think that Pereira loses to Aspinall, but maybe beats Jones. But most likely loses to both. but maybe beats Jones. Definitely doesn't beat Aspinall though, in my opinion. Now we move on to our finals. As you can see right here, we have DDP and Tom Aspinall. DDP's a very sloppy fighter, but until he got to the Izzy fight in the semifinals, I had him winning because of his size. And then I had him beating Izzy because of his physicality and Izzy's commitment. He's run into a guy that's a lot more skilled, which is crazy because he's a heavyweight. Usually talent goes down as you go up in weight. Going up against a guy in Aspinall who's more skilled on the feet and on the ground and in the wrestling department, with a guy who fights in the 240s, 250s. So on fight night, at least 50 pounds of weight on DDP, at least 45 pounds of weight on DDP. Height, skills, cardio, strength, our pound for pound champ in a tournament formatted like March Madness. Tom Aspinall, guys. Now, I don't think he's the best fighter on this list, but when you match it up like you do in March Madness or like the NBA playoffs, where one fights lowest seed, two fights second lowest seed, and so on, that's how these matchups played out, you know? He fights O'Malley. Obviously, he beats O'Malley. They're 100 pounds different. More than 100 pounds different on fight night. And then you have John Jones. He could lose that fight. Whoever wins from this side of the bracket would win regardless. I think if Jones won, he could beat everybody. He could beat DDP. He could also beat Izzy. I think Aspinall beats DDP and Izzy. I think Pereira beats DDP and Izzy. So right there is our bracket. Islam beats Marab, loses to DDP in the second round. DDP beats Izzy, who beat Ilia Topuria and then Leon, and then loses. And then we have Pereira beats Aljo and Volk, and then loses to Aspinall. Aspinall beat O'Malley and Jones, and then Pereira gets to DDP, gets a win based on physicality and size. Tom Aspinall is the 2024 pound for pound tournament champ right now. And, you know, the pound for pound, I'll probably do one of these videos once a year, something like that, a couple times a year, just to see, because it depends on how much the pound for pound rankings change, you know? Sometimes they don't change that much, but there we go. Tom Aspinall, pound for pound champ. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Is there any matchups that you would have picked differently? Do you think Aspinall beats DDP if they were to ever square off, you know? And yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to click like and subscribe down below, all that YouTube stuff. It really helps me out a lot. If you're interested in supporting the channel further and want access to members-only perks, become a channel member today for access to members-only live streams and some other perks. Link is in the description down below, or just click the join button on our channel homepage. If you're looking for some non-MMA content from me, go check out my personal channel, Wyatt's World. I'll have that linked in the description down below as well. Go watch this suggested video, and I'll see you next time.